The convergence of our voices is the song of our beauty. Many voices will speak here, the song woven through diverse notes. Hello, I'd like to introduce you today to Akilah Jaramogi, who is speaking from Trinidad and Tobago, where it's supposed to rain, you say?
Yes.
Yes. But usually it's nice and sunny, isn't it? But anyway, so I'd like to speak to you about your reforestation project. So could you tell me the name of it? Because I'll probably say it wrong.
Greetings. I am Akilah Jaramogi, and I am here at Fondes Amandes Community Reforestation Project in the forest, of Trinidad.
And could you tell me about this project and how it works?
Okay, first I want to say my project started way back in 1982 with my late husband, Tacuma Jaramogi, and I. And it was all about caring for Mother Earth and finding that sacred space away from, a lot of neighbors, a lot of people, a space away where we can give thanks, celebrate Earth, and just, connect with nature the way that we wanted to. So it started way back, as I said, in 82. And unfortunately, Tacoma died in 94, and I had to carry on this work. It was not an easy task starting the project, and today it still is not an easy task with the climate crisis and having to deal with all the different trends and people and everything that is associated with caring for Mother Earth and people. As we started, our main emphasis was planting food and being in the forest. But for me, coming from South Trinidad, what I saw was a naked hillside, and because of forest fires. And even though Tacoma and I would be planting the garden in the rainy season, come dry season, we would normally step away and, just make room for the trend, which is an extremely dry hillside, and it's just ridging the hillside. So I saw that pattern and I told Tacuma that we should try to convert, this place into long-term agriculture practice, because it was really short term that, he and some other farmers from the north were engaged in planting short crops like pigeon peas and sorrel and corn and, just the short crops. So I told him, I said, let's invest in some trees and do some long-term farming. But doing that investment, making the investment, of trees was putting out money to get the trees and then making sure that you were there to protect the trees during the dry season. So it was a totally new task for Tacuma and some of the other farmers who joined us later on. Because by doing that means that you have to make sure that you keep the fires out. So it was a new way, a new part, a new, responsibility for us and for him mainly. So he learns some of the techniques at forestry division, how to cut fire breaks and so on, and make sure that we reduce fires. And for me, I encouraged bringing the community a little closer to do cleanups and stuff, because the main cause of fires when I first approached the area and working with Tacuma was people dumping garbage in the community and then burning by, cleaning by burning. And of course, this would, result to uncontrolled burning, and fire would just go east, west, north, and south based on the wind and based on where they set the fires. So it was a whole new concept that we had to engage the community people in, and changing patterns still remain one of the hardest things for me here at Fondes Amandes. So people who are accustomed just cleaning by burning, they had to change their ways. And it was all about, making sure that they do that so we have less fires in the hillside. And then Tacuma came in with the technique of cutting fire breaks, 10 feet wide and 15 feet wide, creating that buffer. So in case a fire would run into the land, it will die down when it reached the fire breaks. So we did that and we continue to do that. But when Tacuma passed, it was a whole responsibility placed on me and my 5 little children. So what I did, I just reached out to some of my community folks and friends in the community here and some of Tacuma friends, and we officially formed the organization. We formed Fondes Amandes into a structured organization, having the president and secretary, those kind of structures. And
Yes.
today we remain such, Fondes Amandes Community Reforestation Project. We are run by the board. And we got our first funding in 2000. So we started in 1982, and we got our first funding in 2000. So the years gone by, it was just loving and caring for Mother Earth, giving of ourselves, volunteering, and making this happen. Investing in our own money to buy trees, going to South Trinidad in my American community and getting seedlings and planting it on the hill here in Port of Spain. But
So it was a
today,
real labor of love. Yeah.
A labor of love, and
Yeah.
caring for Mother Earth and making sure that we bring balance to people and their natural environment. But today I have no regrets.
No.
I feel so good about the work. I feel like, my ancestors are blessing me. I feel like I am in so much, in tune with Mother Nature, converting a fire climax zone into a now healthy agroforestry project, involving young people and not so young, and having schools involved, having, community groups, being a model for communities as well to follow. And I feel really good about my footprints on Mother Earth. Yeah.
Yes. So you have a real community involvement now.
Oh, yes, I do have a community involvement. Um, However, the definition of community is not just the people in the community, but the community of like-minded people, So some of them may be based outside, of Fondes Amandes, but they are still part of the community that take care of the land, the community that, express passion and love and concern for Mother Earth. And this is where, I say thank you, Modupe, Modupe. I give thanks every day, for reaching this part in the journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how much land are you the steward of?
Approximately 300 acres from the foothill of Fondes Amandes to the ridge top that we manage. We make sure that fires don't come in. We cut fire breaks. We have workers from the ridge top during the dry season. We have planted over 100,000 trees of all different types: hardwood, ornamental plants, fruits, craft materials. And this is what the reality is today, Yeah, just bringing that balance. Yeah.
And I see that you are wearing some jewelry. Is this jewelry that you've made from seeds of the forest?
Yeah, let me see what I'm wearing. Check. I have on my hand here, I have the donkey eye bead on my wristband, but I have some other beads and seeds that I use. I have my spiritual bead, my Obatala bead here, So yeah, I keep wearing the work that I do all the time as part of my marketing strategy as well. Of my
Hmm.
line of ecological jewelry, seeds
Yes,
and
that's
beads
wonderful.
from the forest. Yeah.
And do you sell these widely?
Oh, yes, I sell, when I move around to different conferences and workshops and markets and mainly emancipation time and carnival time. I would put out my jewelry, and yeah, and when visitors come to Fonseman, of course, they would buy jewelry as well. And I always have my jewelry available.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks wonderful.
Thank
And
you.
yes. So part of your work is very bound in your spiritual practice, isn't it? So could you talk about that a bit?
Oh, yes, thank you. And for me, this work is not about me doing the work, but about, being chosen to do it. It's a job assigned to me. And sometimes I ask myself, why? How am I doing this? And it is just, you know, being led by the unseen, being led by the ancestors, and being led by forces bigger than me. Continuing this work, caring for Mother Earth, caring for people, caring for all our relations, it's deep, And I give thanks to my ancestors and give thanks to the Creator all the time because it takes a lot. It takes a lot beyond the
Hmm.
carnal.
Hmm.
And I tap into my indigenous spirituality. I tap into the Eurasia Yoruba practices. I, pay homage to my ancestors. I call on Olodumare to guide me and protect me. I'm a child of Obatala. I'm a child of the ancestors. So, I just devote myself into spirituality and also caring for the earth and people. So for me, I have my shrine on the land where I pay homage to the deities that governs me. And when asked like questions, who are you? I can proudly say, I am land, water, and something else, something which I must pass on, something that binds me to those of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Who are you? I am nothing without you. I am nothing without them. When I arrive, I was in their hands. They were there to welcome me. When I depart, they will lead my return. And I put on my faith and trust and confidence in my ancestors and my African life ways because I know it's through my ancestors I get the strength and the power to move on. I stand strong on their shoulders, and it's like a force. It's like a force just moving me through, and I'm happy. I give thanks, I give thanks on the spiritual side of things. Even though, the earthly plane, there's so much more that is needed. There's so much balance that is needed. There's so much injustice and,
Hmm.
inequality and racism and classism and all the stuff that we would talk about when we advocate for rights and justice for peoples of African descent. But all in all, we find peace and love and comfort through prayers and rituals and giving thanks to carry
Hmm.
on this work.
Yes. So do
Yeah, so we
you
just,
yeah. Do you do rituals that are open to the public there?
oh, yes, yes, definitely. We do rituals here. I have Mama Oshun porn and I have my shrine. And like if someone is not feeling well and whether they need, a little balance, a spiritual balance, they would go in the shrine and I would take them to Baba Ishu and I will take them to Batala and we would sit and pray and, pray for balance, pray for strength, pray for wisdom, pray for knowledge, pray for cool path. I'll sprinkle my water and I'll say, Omi tutu, Ona tutu, Ile tutu, tutu larie, tutu ariku babawa. Ask for cool pot and cool head and cool house and bring them to that space where they need to be beyond all the trials that is happening out there. Sometimes you just have to reconnect with yourself and just find that inner peace. And that is what, guides me and keep me doing this work. I can say Ashe, Ashe,
Oh,
Ashe all the time. Yeah.
and it's wonderful work. And have any other projects spawned elsewhere from yours?
Oh yes, we often share this work as a model, with other communities.
Hmm.
Following our work, looking at reforestation, community forestry, we have shared this model. And today, under the National Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program in Trinidad, we have approximately 65 groups doing almost the same work like Fondes Amandes, right? Caring for the forest. And that's like community people taking on the responsibility, clearing the waterways and planting trees and putting in fire breaks and fighting fires during the dry season, and so on. So I know there's a growing movement where community people, grassroots people are getting closer and more connected to Mother Earth in the way that they really supposed to. That deep care is growing beyond just, being paid to do it. They harness that kind of love and appreciation. And I think that's really, really good. A lot of them visit Fonsuman and they go back feeling stronger and more positive and feeling challenged that I can do it too, especially
Yeah.
when it's a woman forester and those
Oh,
big
yes.
men and say, yeah, but if this woman can do it, we can do it too. They
Yeah.
will not wallow in self-pity and say, oh, it's hard. And nah, they're empowered to do and to love Mother Earth and, just give back. Yeah. And I said, thanks for, yeah.
Yeah. And you have received an award for your project, haven't you?
Oh, yes. Over the years, I've received several awards and the Hummingbird Gold National Award, Hummingbird Gold Medal I received, I think that was in 2007. And then a lot of sustainability awards, Champion of the Environment Award, um, yeah, Woman in Forestry Award. Um, yeah, so a few awards over the years for the
Yes.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where have they come from?
Some from state organizations, some from NGOs, some from, civil society groups and so on. But yeah, so different areas and also from like business community sustainability award we got from a national gas company that is giving back, reducing their carbon footprint, where
Mm.
they know they have to give back, but all in all, seeing where when they make the contribution, how much, we have taken that to a higher level, how many lives we have been able to impact over the years, bringing young people to Fonsuman, planting trees and learning about the land and learning about themselves, as custodians, no matter how big or how small, we all can play a part in, caring for Mother Earth. So this is the kind of education you get when you come to Fonsuman, that we all can make a difference. This is what we put out there, even those who are the polluters, and they are entitled to make a difference, and if they can't do it themselves, they need to pay for the work to be done to clean up the mess and all the stuff. But all in all, we can make a difference and to bring balance and peace and calmness and care to Mother Earth. It's finding creative ways to get everybody involved.
Yes.
And hence the reason why, we reach out, and sometimes we don't even have to reach out. People see the work that we are doing and come to us and say, yeah, we want to be part of this journey. We want you to help us. And, when they come in the forest, I say, this is our earth. We need to survive. Come plant some trees and keep them alive. So they would come and they'll plant. But the thing about it is not just to plant and turn your back. You got to plant those trees and keep them alive.
Hmm.
So yeah, this is where we get people engaged to commit to care for Mother Earth and yeah, bring balance and yeah, sustainability. Yeah.
Yeah. So some of those little seedlings that you planted way back in 82 would now be big grown trees.
Oh yes, they are, and yeah, so I'll just take you on a little tour.
Okay.
So this is what you would see where I am in the forest.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So you would see some of the big trees.
Hmm.
You know, yeah, some of the trees here that give me my seeds for jewelry, like the soap seed, flamboyant seed, juju seed, donkey eye. Yeah, and then we have bacano and serret and mahogany. Yeah, so, we just create an environment that can work for us. Create
Yes.
an environment that can bring balance, create an environment that can be a habitat, for wildlife and all living things that, belong, like we belong. So I give thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, is there anything you'd like to say before we bring this to a close?
Oh, yes. I want to say that this work has led me to advocate for my maroon peoples throughout the diaspora. And come November, from the 5th to the 9th, we will be bringing folks from our maroon community from Suriname and Jamaica and Haiti, Guadeloupe and Martinique and Brazil and, you know, Dominica and St. Lucia, different parts of the Caribbean, to come to Trinidad and experience what present day marionage is all about. How important it is to be keepers of the tradition. And this is what we will be doing, hearing stories that have not been told about marionage in the
Oh,
Caribbean,
oh, I
because
wish I
our
could be
aim is
there.
to, you're welcome, our aim is to change the narrative, change the narratives and tell the truth of our
Yes.
ancestors who
Hmm.
fought for freedom. We're
Yes,
talking
dear.
collective liberation here, and this is
Yeah.
what I am leading right now. So I give thanks to life, give thanks to my ancestors, give thanks to the forest, where I get my strength and my wisdom to continue to do this work, unite my people, and help pave a path for the generations to come. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe. And thank you.